With Gorou's brand new Hangout event, we can see his whole entire kit and why I think he's going to be a must-pull S tier character. Yep, S tier for sure.
I'm going in. Gonna be epic.
Even though I believe Gorou to actually be an S tier character and a must-pull on the Arataki Ito banner as it's Gorou's first appearance, this character's importance for your team may not be for you, and especially for new players, unless you are thinking about getting Arataki Ito as one of your first 5-star characters, or you just recently got out beta and you would like to help support him. What is important to note in regards to Gorou as a whole of a character is that he's basically elemental resonance for the Geo element. If you're new to the game or just don't really remember or care about what elemental resonance is, what it is if you have multiple of the same type of element in your team, like 2 pyro, 2 water, even one of each different element, you will activate an elemental resonance and therefore apply a buff to your whole team composition. For Gorou's case, he is an elemental resonance that increases based off of the amount of Geo characters in your party. So basically, instead of only having 2, the perk for getting 2 of Geo characters, you're going to have additional perks from Gorou's passives and talents based off of 3 and 4. Thus making Gorou an irreplaceable character in any Geo-based composition that you may have currently or want to build in the future. Gorou being an elemental resonance character is actually an entire meta shift and meta defining character as he comes out and will give viability to quad Geo comps forever. Because if you plan on ever making a composition with multiple Geo characters, you are going to need Gorou because of what his kit actually brings to the table. Regardless if you have one, but at C6, his constellations get a little bit crazy. Something that we might be able to infer with Gorou's overall character design with his abilities is that in the future we might get more additional characters that want same elemental type team composition. So maybe you'll finally be able to have a 4-piece pyro team and not feel severely underwhelmingly underpowered in favor of melt or hydro compositions with elemental reactions. Having more characters designed in a way to indirectly buff elemental resonance, because it doesn't seem like Mihoyo wants to do that too much anytime soon. Regardless, the fact that we would get characters to fulfill that gap in team compositions and extend out to have different ways to play the game instead of just, the same basic meta stuff, which is why Gorou is such an important type of character, even though that's not the reason why I think he's a must-pull character. But as I've been saying, when looking at his kit and what he brings to an all-Geo composition, regardless, he still would be a decent low middle tier character for overall support if you just want him in your rainbow team composition as just a Geo character to help crystallize reactions, even though I don't know why you'd want that over a full-on Geo comp, but I digress. In any case, let's take a look at what his constellations bring. Start with Gorou's Constellation 1. When characters other than Gorou are within the area of effect of Gorou's General War banner or General's Glory, those abilities will deal Geo damage to opponents and reduce the cooldown of Gorou's Inuzaka all-around defense by 2 seconds, and this effect can occur once every 10 seconds, which is the name of the elemental skill and the buff that his talents provide, which we will look at later. His Constellation 2, while General Glory is in effect, its duration is extended by 1 second when a nearby character obtains an elemental shard from crystallized reaction, which can occur every 0.1 second up to 3 seconds. Skill up at Constellation 3. Constellation 4, when his General Glory's effect is in the impregnable or crunch state, it will also heal active characters within area of effect by 50% of Gorou's own defense every 1.5 seconds. So it's a little bit of extra healing if you don't want to commit to Noel. C5, a skill up But when looking at Constellation 6, for 12 seconds, after using either Gorou's elemental skill or elemental burst, increase the crit damage of all nearby party members. Geo damage based off of the talent buff, which says when you have said many Geo characters in your party, you gain Standing Firm, Impregnable, and Crunch, and each have percentage buffs based off of this Constellation 6, up to 40% extra crit Geo damage. Moving on to the talents, you can see right here, we provide 3 buffs based off of how many Geo characters are in the party, which this is the big kahuna of Gorou's entire kit, is this Elemental Resonance buff here. We have Standing Firm, which is a defense bonus. 2 Geo characters, you have increased resistance to interruption, which is fine, but Crunch, the quad Geo composition, gives you increased Geo damage bonus, which is immaculate for any Geo-based composition. Moving on to the ultimate, he deals AoE Geo damage, and exactly like the elemental skill, provides the same buffs based off of how many Geo characters that are in your party, and additionally generates Crystal Collapse every 1.5 seconds to deal AoE Geo damage to opponents within the AoE, and gives yourself elemental shards near your character to help you with crystallize reactions and just help give you shields, as the ultimate will follow you around, which is kind of cute because it's a little dog thing. Last bit just kind of talks about how the war banner will function with the ultimate and the skill. If you are using them at the same time, you can read that there. Quick look at his talents. When you use his ultimate, all nearby party members gain defense 25% for 12 seconds, which is super good. And when Gorou receives the following damage bonuses based off his defense, all you need to know is that Gorou likes defense. Sound good? Yeah, it's pretty good. Gorou, give him defense. He's going to help buff his own damage and team damage a lot more. The build that they give him for his hangout is pretty bad. The Favoni's Warbow is decent, and he doesn't have a Geo damage cups, he doesn't have defense on his sands, he's just a mess. Though, they give him Noblesse set, which is fine. We'll talk about potential builds for Gorou in another video. In any case, let's take a look at Gorou and see how he plays. Like many Geo characters before him, you're probably gonna not have him on the field very often. Here we actually will use pretty scuffed Noelle setup just to kind of showcase some of Geo bonus, even though I don't actually show you what it looks like before. But just having a second Geo character gives the whole team additional defense bonus based off of his elemental skill when you are within the area of effect. And you can see the area of effect is pretty hefty. A good thing to know with the whole Geo composition is that you'll be able to battery your ultimates very quickly, since they will all be generating Geo particles and Geo energy for the whole team very fast, so you have your ultimates up hopefully a lot of the time. And you can see we have Gorou charge shots, we'll have the Gorou little ultimate buddy that follows you around, giving you the buff that your elemental skill will grant you, which is really nice. Though it does destroy your elemental skill, so you have to be careful about that. You can't have them out at the same time, but your effect of that elemental skill resonance that Gorou's kit is based good for is still going to be in effect, so no need to worry about that. Overall, even if you don't find Gorou to be the most fun or interesting character to play, his overall utility and resonance ability for the Geo team is without a doubt uncontested in the light that we see the game so far. And I believe Gorou will turn Geo into a force to be reckoned with and completely overhaul the meta in a new light that shines Geo to the top of the table. Melt, Vaporize, and the Morgana comps all better watch out. There's a new king on the block, and he's ready to crystallize. Thank y'all so much for watching, and if you do plan to get Gorou yourself, or even trying to get Arataki Itto, you're going to get some Gorous anyway. How do you think you plan on building Gorou? Will you build the same way he was put into the Hangout event? Or are you going to use the brand new Geo artifact set, or even something completely different? In the next video, we're going to go over a couple options for your own Gorou if you decide to build him. And if you think that he's also going to change the meta like I do, leave a comment below stating what you think he's going to be bringing to the table.
またお会いしましたね。